All right, everyone. Are you ready for some real entertainment? Are you ready for a real video game? Sorry, I don't mean to imply that open world fishing is in any way not real entertainment. It's in fact also the pinnacle of entertainment. Raven Software deserves more respect. I want to say it out there. Raven's made some of the best fucking video games. They're actually, I mean, they made, how often can a studio make a series of dope-ass single-player games and then go on to make one of the best free-to-play service games ever? In terms of metrics, I'm saying, but that's what those games are about. Getting a little worked up right now. People got to put some respect on Raven's name. There. Okay. Anyway, this game's awesome. It's Quake 4. So let's do a little primer here about Quake. Quake was an awesome video game. Quake 1 was the... Here, let's just pull this up. This is going to require some visual aids. Quake 1 was the first 3D game. The first real 3D game ever. The first game to have like actual 3D math in the engine. You might say, but Doom looks 3D. It sure does. What? Didn't expect that. That's okay. Let's get this one out of it. Well, actually here, let's... You know what? I'm actually blessed that it's that functional. Anyway, this is Quake 1. It's actually available via Game Pass right now, via PC and Xbox. But it seems like such a nothing shooter. But what's fascinating about it, I think kind of like Mario 64, is in all the things it got right the first time. So Mario 64 was kind of like the first 3D platformer that had an analog stick. And it got so much right about all that right off the bat in terms of just like camera control. Well, camera is a little shaky. But the hang time of Mario in the air, the ability to project yourself in 3D space. So for being the first 3D shooter, there's so much that Quake gets right about its level design and the experience it offers. It has a very weirdly atmospheric soundtrack from Trent Reznor. It's about being inside of 3D spaces and experiencing the ambiance versus the more mathematical layout of a Doom map. Maps were now series of kind of more organic hallways and corridors instead of a much more symmetrical Doom sort of layout. Duke Nukem 3D kind of had this feeling about it too. So that's Quake 1. Now Quake 2 came out 2 years later, 1 year later. And it really has nothing to do anything with Quake. It's an iteration on the engine. It has dynamic lighting. So light sources can travel and move around. The lighting doesn't have to be baked into the map. Excuse me. So as somebody's shooting, you see these circles of light traveling around the bullet. That's because the bullet is casting light on the floor, and then every frame it's actually updating. That's crazy. And color, it's not just brightness. It's actually hues and colors that can mix and match. So Quake 2, incredible. Technological breakthrough. Lore-wise has nothing to do with Quake 1. I remember John Carmack, basically the technical wizard behind Quake and id Software, in general, told a story at QuakeCon one year about how they called this Quake 2 because they made this game and then they were trying to find a name for it and everything they thought of was copywritten. But they owned the name Quake, so they called it Quake 2, and that's it. This game is about going to space. You're a space marine. Quake 1, you're a ranger. You're a dude wearing armor who is fighting eldritch terrors and dimensions shattered away from this one. Quake 2, you are a space marine sent into space to fight the Strogg, who are aliens. And they're like mixed with machine parts and stuff like that. So it's a very ridiculous science fiction premise where you're a super soldier sent into space to basically shoot to death these like hybrid body horror techno guts monsters. It's not quite Doom. Oh, sorry. Questions about Quake. Oh, does Quake have a campaign or was it a deathmatch game? Quake 1 had worlds. and each one was a series of maps. So yeah, it did have a campaign. Quake 2 leans more into Doom, just without the literal hell stuff. Yeah, it's more of a corridor shooter. You're running around halls. There's pumping music from Sonic Mayhem. And it's rad. You just basically have these like techno rock music blaring. You're running around. You're blowing stuff up. You're fighting the Straug, who are these ridiculous like comic book monsters, basically. Very edgy 90s comic book energy. The Straug are very System Shocky in terms of biomech horror. Yeah, they are. They are. That was kind of in vogue in the mid to late 90s, I feel like. Now, Quake 3 comes out. It is a multiplayer-only shooter. The whole thing about Quake 3, well, there were a couple things, but there was the tech of having rounded surfaces. You see it everywhere in Quake 3. The arches, the guns, just the high poly count was a big deal with Quake 3. But also the clean and efficient handling of inputs. Quake 3 was a hyper-responsive game, and that was the whole point of it. It was to make a game where it was a fast 3D arcade shooter where your inputs immediately translated into responses. It was just like a very technical game. And as such, it's kind of like the arena shooter. This is what led to that multiplayer experience in GoldenEye and Halo and things like that. Actually, GoldenEye, wait. I might be mixing my dates there. Hold on. Well, which one was first? Quake 3 Arena was 99. Not the 2010 one. God, there's so many games called GoldenEye. Oh, 97. Okay, so GoldenEye was first. Yeah. I think it's like the 3D aspects of it. This is not Quake 4, not yet. We're just going through the Quake series because it's confusing. So I'm kind of spelling it out. Quake 3 is the Smash Brothers of Quake. It doesn't really have anything to do with the storylines of Quake 1 or 2. And it has characters in it from the Quake series and new characters, but there's no like story content explaining them or expanding on them. I mean, you see in the upper right, there's like a Doom Marine helmet up there. There's just a variety of characters that have names, and they're just there. They're just players. Until you're me and you download Homer Simpson, and you're fucking rocking it on the internet, wearing a Homer Simpson model, coolest thing in the world. It was an answer to Unreal Tournament. Well, Unreal Tournament and Quake 3 came out at around the same time, and I don't think it was an answer because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they came out. Let's see here. Unreal Tournament was November 99. And Quake 3 was December 99. So I don't know that they were necessarily answers to each other, but both were multiplayer focused extensions of technology-driven first-person shooters. So yeah, nearly identical games from nearly identical tech companies at nearly identical times. Yeah, and it was like an interesting divergence in opinion, because philosophically they're the same game, but there's some just very minor differences in how they play and feel. And a lot of people preferred Unreal. A lot of people preferred Quake. It was an age of plenty when there were two competing arena shooters at the same time. Anyway, that also has nothing to do with Quake 4. Quake 4 is a sequel to Quake 2. Kind of just want like a trailer. And it's not even made by id Software. It kind of is. id Software made the engine. This is the Doom 3 engine, or id Tech 5. And Raven, who at this point already had a legacy of making a lot of very good first-person games, going back to like Hexen 2. Let's see here. So Raven Software was already a pretty trusted developer. They had a legacy of like treating properties well and working in other spaces. So let's see here. Yeah. Hexen Beyond Heretic, Necrodrum, Hexen 2, Heretic 2, Soldier of Fortune, Star Trek Voyager, Jedi Outcast, Soldier of Fortune 2, X-Men Legends, and then Quake 4. I mean, I'm skipping a few in there, but Like, they're just working on bigger and bigger properties. They're doing an increasingly great job at it. And here they have the opportunity to make a modern version of the kind of classic game that they worked on pretty directly. So it's an interesting aspect of like a software developer who's clearly made a lot of great first-person shooter games now can take the reins of a franchise that is adjacent to a lot of the stuff they worked on 15, 10, 20 years before. This is the Doom 3 engine, yeah. Which, the Tech 3? I don't associate the numbers too well. Quake 4 got that Doom 3 darkness. It does. I mean, you can kind of tell it's a very high contrast game. Got that Escape from Butcher Bay look. But yes, this is the Doom 3 engine in the hands of very capable single-player developers. Jeez. Quake 4 is one of the few bright spots in late aughts gaming. It was a very... It was just a disposable time. I feel like most of the games were like praised because of their production values and not really their actual merits. A lot of game studios were trying to scale up to HD quality productions. It was difficult to get away with like experimental ideas. Budgets were getting huge. Everyone was getting risk averse. One of the things I do like about Quake 4 though is it does really deliver on a crazy hallway. This is where games were going at the time, and they made a really good version of it. And one that I feel like was not properly appreciated, I think because of aesthetic. I think at this time, even though this was an age of extremity, well, the extremity of the early aughts was tapering off and there wasn't really a new zeitgeist, and techno horror wasn't it. But it was still a really good version of this thing. Of nu metal, pounding, running through corridors, blasting alien bastards. The thing I remember about this game is how well it recreated the Aliens vibe, the James Cameron energy of being surrounded by Marines who were getting the shit kicked out of them and screaming a bunch of like techno stuff. Remember the AI being pretty reactive. They would like call out enemy positions and it would actually be correct. All right, Quake 4. What's the value in choosing higher difficulty here, I wonder? More close situations? If it gets to where it like starts impeding progress, then man, what's the point? This game also pulls a pretty interesting switcheroo, I'll say. I think in a way it comments on old school and new school game design with a pretty drastic transformation sequence. The people who played the game long enough to see it were kind of impressed by it. Did you choose the hardest? I chose the second to hardest. A game like this, choosing hardest just means you see game over a few more times. More games need super secret endings that you only see on the hardest difficulty. It's already so ostentatious. Oh my gosh. With like serenity of space, panning across into a title card to this like Starship Trooper shot. Man. This reminds me of Kingsman and the way it like establishes tone. So sick.
Warning, incoming attack. All right, you maggots, haul ass or die! Go, go, go! We're clear!
All the audio's crazy overblown too.
Holy shit! This is some ride, eh, buddy? Who's the new guy?
Matthew Kane, one certified badass.
A man like Kane could get us killed.
Shut the hell up, Strauss.
Fuck yeah, Strauss.
Gentlemen, good news in the war against Strogg. A lone Marine battled through enemy lines and killed the Strogg's leader, the Macron. He's also disabled the Strogg planetary defense guns, so it's a ground pounder's war from here on.
That's it, by the way. That's everything that happened in Quake 2.
Just clearing out
You blow up a gun and kill an alien. You're caught up on the lore now. Sound effects are so extreme. You better get ready for some extreme shit. Extreme space military action. I see a mech. You saw like a bio mech with creepy spider legs. No. He got his ass shot. Like so much about this. So much about this should have worked. I think just because it was like a property that...
Lucky for you, Lieutenant Voss is in a hurry to move out.
It is just kind of like an edgy Halo. Really, like looking at how boxy this gun is.
ASAP. Just go through those doors. You'll run into him eventually.
Do you think this game has subtitles? There's no way, right? No one cared. Hey, Steph. Steph's back. Probably not. Glasses? Cool. Sparkly. Steph has new sunglasses. Advanced settings. They're cute. What? Wow, these are dark. Do I need... Jeez. Somehow it's easier if I like... Why would anyone do that? I don't see subtitles in there. Well, I felt cute. A little bit. A little more juice. A little more juice, less beetle. Whoa. Is it meant to be 720p? It's not.
HQ, come in, HQ.
Those are lies. Don't believe the menus.
There, he's stabilized for the moment.
There is mod trickery afoot.
My name's Anderson. Here, let me heal you. Okay, that's it. If you get hurt, find a medic. They'll heal you up.
At this time where they're even dual cores. Oh yeah.
Come in, HQ. This is Rhino.
I think multiple core CPUs have been on the PC market for a year or two.
Come on.
New consoles were all multi-core, so that's kind of what was prompting that. Just look at how grimy this is. This is great. All the flickering lights, like multiple flickering lights. Doom 3 had flickering lights, all right? That was the thing. Doom 3's got dynamic lighting. Let's flicker some lights. And now, in the capable hands of Raven Software, there are multiple flickering lights in a single room. So it's like got this like kind of pulsing energy. It's bouncing off the gun. There's sparks and steam. There's a lot of this stuff. Just like really cinematic set dressing to all the areas you move through. Just grimy. Grungy grime. Video game grime grunge. Oh! I do find it interesting though how at this point you can tell that these enemies are console friendly. They stand in front of you and they do a little shimmy to the left or the right, but they're not like Doom enemies. They don't zip around you. The pistol sounds so weak. Pew! It's got that like, I think it has that like pinched musicality of a Aliens pulse rifle. Maybe I'm looking too hard for similarities to Aliens, but I cannot stop seeing them anywhere I look. And I think the sound of the pistol is part of that. The pulse rifles don't sound nearly as cool as alien pulse rifles. Yeah, but pistols are supposed to feel weak. You're supposed to feel like a little wiener right now. Look at that sweet scope. Sick as hell. Nothing says 2006 like this scope. Oh yeah, and bodies that don't stay. We need to get that RAM back, baby.
This is no place to let your guard down. Come on, let's see if we can't find my squad up ahead.
Finally. You can be friends with Space Steve Bloom. Space Bloom? Look at this cool hallway, though. All these ominous pipes. This underlighting. Oh. A trend I like in modern boomer shooters is making your early weapons useful late game. Ultra Kill does it perfectly. I really need to play Ultra Kill. Yeah. I guess the idea there is that in a proper boomer shooter, your guns don't get better. They just give you additional abilities and thus additional choices to make. And then part of the skill is choosing the right weapon for the right encounter. So your beginning weapons aren't useless. They're just tailored to a specific kind of engagement that you have less and less as the game goes on.
Sorry, I'm kind of occupied right now.
I heard the dropship you rhinos were on took a direct hit. You're lucky you still be breathing. My legs. I can't move them.
HQ, I have a man down and require a medic. HQ, come in. Damn squibs must be jamming our signal. Kovic, what took you so long to get back?
Sorry, Sarge. I had a run-in with a Strog. I met this Marine from Rhino Squad.
Your Rhino squad? Hightail it back to the landing site, grab your medic, and bring him here.
Got these little scenes playing out, sending us to go collect a person going to follow us. All this very exciting AI now.
We were dropped in the wrong freaking zone. There's Strog everywhere. Get me out of here.
I also feel like it's a
We have your location and help us.
bit of a console play to kind of like give you an AI follower tell you where to go and then just to ask you to walk backwards through that same area with enemies all by yourself. So it's not as like intimidating. You've already been there once. Also, it's a hallway, so you can't really get lost. This game was designed... Whoa. Why is the ammo... Are you guys talking about how huge the meters are? Oh, yeah. Why is the ammo counter and health so big? Yeah. This was also when they weren't really... They weren't 100% confident that people would be playing it in widescreen. Because I think that when 360s and PS3 shipped, a lot of people would plug them into 4x3 TVs. It just wasn't quite a thing yet. So yeah. Those aughts UIs.
Okay.
That awkward phase where games are like getting used to HD displays is actually kind of endearing to me. Had 4x3 till 09? Yeah. So games kind of had to count for both. And still make UIs that were readable on pretty small displays across the room. On 360, how did this game handle weapon switching? Did it have a radial menu? I feel like that wasn't quite the thing at the time yet.
There's a Marine down? Yeah, I can go. Lead the way. Let's not lose focus here. Get me to that injured man.
Oh, he's not gonna heal me? Enemies that come out and just yell at you. Rah. Oh, is there items down there? Gotta be items down here. What game had the first weapon wheel? You know, Negrim, I was just wondering that. I feel like that's something where when I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's cool. I remember Deus Ex Invisible War was one of the first games I remember using a radial menu for inventory management. Oh, Perfect Dark had one? Freedom Fighters? Huh. Maybe it was Perfect Dark.
So many lives wasted.
Man. Perfect Dark's such a weird game. It's just like bursting at the seams. Trying so hard to be on the N64. Oh, Turok had one. Really?
3, 2, 1.
Turok's one of those games. Turok Dinosaur Hunter, the first one. One of those games that's just like... I wish that more people made games like this. There's that fun era when there's kind of a new medium and there's no standard set yet. When there's a lot of experimentation. And Turok was one of those experimental games, I feel like, where it was just focused on environments and exploration. And almost has a Quake sensibility in that way. How Quake maps would just have these kind of weird corridors you could go down and vast open spaces to walk through. But Turok was so big. Its environments were just really cool to walk around in. And that's such a neat thing to focus on for a game, especially when action is there. Like this has environments, sure, but they're the set dressing for just like 0 IQ gunfights.
Stay right there, Kane. I'll get you patched up.
Yeah, give me that juice. Look at that. Bros helping bros. I like Turok when you're playing in a level that isn't just one big labyrinth. Yeah. It's like a sprawling series of connected like exploration nodes. Which, speaking of, Tinykin is a really good game in that regard. It is a game that is purely around like exploration and interaction.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. Here.
I played that a little bit. I had a good time with it.
I gave him a med pack and sedated him. He'll be okay.
Thanks, son. Kane, you're free to go now. Take that door and it'll get you to your squad.
All right. I'm gonna go back to my squad of military dudes.
Ah, so you did survive. I won the bet with Rose. We were not properly introduced. I am Alejandro Cortez, Rhino Squad sharpshooter. Lieutenant Voss stationed me here to guard the flank. But you are to proceed that way and rendezvous with the rest of our squad. I'm sorry, but I must stop here.
Is Tiny Kin the game where the devs seem to have looked at Nintendo's refusal to make a new Pikmin and just made their own? A little bit. Yeah, it's not quite Pikmin. It's got a bit of a different energy about it, but yeah, it's basically Pikmin. 2005, they hadn't invented hair in video games yet. Yeah. Buzzcut Space Marines. We're deep in that territory. Jebbernaut, thank you for the sub. Oh, Fishy Doodah, by the way, thank you for the prime. Z Yamato, thank you very much for the sub. Samurai Spartan, thanks for the prime. Digitized Lotus and Jim Biggins, thank y'all. Chaotic Good, thank you for the sub. I think I missed a ton there. So I was just trying to catch up. To entrance with fishing.
We gotta bring the air defense cannon down.
It happens. We've all been there. If it happens, anyone interested in seeing pictures of the NASA Artemis launch?
HQ.
Sure. Is this supposed to happen like in the next couple of hours? See, when I was complaining about the generic nature of most game scores in the aughts and 2010s, this is definitely one of them. There was such a push for video games to sound like movies, down to this just like ultra generic film score BS. Quake should not sound like this. I like the chatter. The audio chatter's all on point. The music, though, is tragic. Although I can see why in 2006, 2005, that sound would be the most corny thing. Oh, Artemis 1 is tomorrow. Okay. What is the Inside Games documentary on boomer shooters coming out? I don't know that we have anything to add, really. I think it just speaks to a philosophically different window in game design.
Damn, that was close!
Aircraft lost at 65%. We're taking a lot of heat from the air defense cannon. Ground-based troops.
Flip. Every sci-fi shooter wanted to be Aliens, yeah. Aliens or Predator, Commando. I mean, there's a long legacy of games that are all emulating like 80s action schlock. And the influences aren't subtle either.
What have I missed?
Just getting started. We gotta take out that air defense cannon, but the Strog flyers are keeping us pinned down. There's no way to...
Sergeant Bidwell, this is Boss. I think I found a way to get at that cannon. Can you reach Kane?
He's right here, sir.
Good. Kane, go to the Strong hangars. Viper Squad will rendezvous with you there. If you can take out the launching base, the flyers won't be a problem. Boss out.
You heard the man, Kane. Get to the hangar. Morris, go with him. Move out!
What am I doing? Keep going down the hallway. They ever try to elaborate on why the Strogs have trenches? No. I don't even think there's a lot of like World War II imagery in Quake 2. I think it's like, I think this is just purely like World War II shooters are hot. So we need this imagery in like the trailer. So there's a dumb trench sequence. They have trenches so they can put you in a hallway outside and not have to render as much. That's true. I mean, there are sequences later where you go into more arena-style environments. But I also remember on the 360 those ran terribly. So yeah, the trench is a good call. It was more engine limitations? Could be, actually. I mean... There are vehicle sequences later where you're in more open areas, so I don't think it was that the engine couldn't do it. It actually, well, remembering that it ran terribly, maybe it was that the engine couldn't do it and they wanted to push that part to later in the game. Stupid enemies. Techno dudes, the angry faces. Ooh, that difficulty caught up with me already. I haven't been saving like at all. Maybe I should start doing that. See this cool cutscene again? Yeah. It's got a gun arm. Possible to get more legit than a gun arm. Mega Man approves. Man. That's another
Rhino Squad, eh?
So what are we gonna do here?
It's another game I gotta play for academic purposes. Mega Man Legends. Never done that.
Can work safely. Unfortunately, comlink signals can't penetrate the rock of this mountain.
I suppose I could stay here and relay the comm signals for you guys.
That'd be great. Come on, let's go. Here, take this shotgun. It's gonna come in handy real soon.
Sweet. Enjoying the sounds in this game. Just feels like BioShock when I replayed it. Constant noise and tons of it. All overlaps with little regard to balancing and little regard to making the audio not grating. Yeah, it was just supposed to sound like hyper warfare all the time. Maximum intense gun shoots. And it's exhausting. And yeah, it's just like all the audio balancing is like a brick. Everything is overmastered. It's weird because this is what music sounded like 5 years before this. It's like war loudness stuff. This was peak like trying to show off new game hardware kind of stuff. You wanted games to be loud, flashy, brash, showy. It's supposed to blow you to the back of the room if you had a sound system and an expensive TV. Providing that cinematic experience.
Less freak in this world.
Got him.
Die, squib.
Ooh! Ow! Where the heck? Hey, I could use some juice.
One med pack coming up.
Corporal Kane, wait, and I'll repair your
Here you go. See you around.
I got no time for talking.
There, finished.
There's-
Try to be more careful.
They call the Strog squibs. Yeah, it's their like hurtful and racist term. Oh man, got more rooms with random lights popping off all over the place. I don't know, all the unnecessary blinking, the grungy, dank hallways. It's such a superfluous game, and I love it for that. Being so, like... It's rare to get, like, a full-chested attempt to make a real cool going to space and shooting techno-aliens game. Cool ass Marine squad. Was there a novelization of Quake? I've never looked, so I'm not sure. Now I hope so. That would actually provide some very needed lore nuggets.
Come on, soldier.
Hey, what's up, Chili? I'm doing all right.
What you got, squib?
Shooting aliens. This did have a better shotgun than Doom 3. It does, yeah. Doom 3 shotgun is weird. It rips, but you have to be like, you got to point it directly into a demon.
Damn. Door's locked. That's our only way through.
Doom 3 was interesting because it really did seem like they were trying to adapt the Doom experience to a console. So, 90-degree turns, slow-moving enemies, big targets that just like do this kind of thing.
Reinforced glass. It'd take a lot more than our weapons to break it. Hey, Kane, you're the scout. Why don't you see if there's another way into that section?
I think what you see here is a ramping up of those ideas, but still very present in design, of just like keeping most of anything you need to care about in a cone in front of the player and keeping that cone very fiercely directed forward. So enemies are always dancing around in a pretty narrow field of view, and then they don't do a whole lot. They don't move around a ton. And most of the level is a hallway. It's a pretty hallway, but it's a hallway. So pretty different from Doom fundamentals and even Quake fundamentals. It's the codification. There's some random machinery going. Man, these individual rooms. Gotta admit, it's so cool how the Doom 3 engine scales. These rooms are all really cool looking, dank ass alien machine rooms. Zen games have come so far. It really has. It really, really has. The visuals, you know, are the easiest to intake, I guess, the easiest to comment on. But yeah, audio design in games has come so far. Cool. There's so much more intentional craft, I feel like.
Just a few seconds and you'll be right back into the fight. Would you hold still? That's all I can do. Good luck. Finished. You're back in the war, Marine.
Giving you little Healy NPCs at the beginning is a cool idea, too. Nice little safety net that they then back off.
Good job, Kane.
bet the eggheads back at HQ would love to get their hands on this baby.
Viper Squad, this is Morris. HQ's finally located the demolitions for the hangars. He should be there soon.
Oh! Where'd all my guys go? Yo! Help! There we go.
All mine.
If you can lean, you can clean. This is the only Quake on console.
Patched up in no time.
No. I mean, right now, no. You can play
More careful.
You can play like 1, 2, and no. You play 1 and 4 on console. Quake 2 got ported to N64 and PlayStation 2. I'm pretty sure. PlayStation 1. Excuse me. So 4, this one was the one that came out on 360. Yeah, Quake 1 got a remaster. I'd recommend playing it. I think it's the qualities that it has still hold pretty good. Very atmospheric and moody kind of experience. And Machine Games actually put out some newer content packs for it that are really good.
Okay, wait. Stay where you are, Gene. I'll heal you.
Did your medic just heal your armor? No, the tech does.
Good to go, Marine.
There we go.
You're done.
That's all health. See, it makes sense. Steer, thank you for the prime. Yeah, that gun sound gets a little old. Whatever, this game rocks. Yeah, let's get out of here. Apparently, there's a 3-volume graphic novel series called Quake Champions. Huh. I'm gonna guess that's more in the, like, based on the multiplayer game? Although, yeah, it might have some critical lore beats.
Wow. Would you look at this place?
Made an on-air reading of this graphic novel series. Let me get through the Doom novels first.
Shit. No wonder they're giving our infantry so much trouble. Look at the number of flyers they got.
Really? Champions had a lot of lore, huh? I played it a little bit. It was fun. It felt like Quake. I didn't mind the abilities too much either. Kind of made sense. I guess the bummer was just when, like, everyone just picks the character with the highest health pool when you're at the baby difficulty, so it just takes so much shooting to knock out other players. Alright. Murder all aliens.
Ain't this just fucking sweet? Hold up a sec. Hold up. Ready? Go! The area up here secure. Hey, Morris. What's the ETA on the demo team?
Got a strong in my sight.
Holy shit, take those turrets out now!
Whoa. What? Such an overblown sound effect.
Stand back.
No recoil either, just a lot of screen shake.
Morris, this is Viper Squad. We made a successful
few
sweep of the
seconds
area.
and you'll be right
Giving all
back into
clear
the
to
fight.
demo team.
That's That's all I can do.
Kane,
Good luck.
this is Morris. The demolitionist should be near the top of the
Marine, you
elevator.
gotta remember to duck once in a while.
Yes, I am. Now, double time it and meet me at the elevator.
There you go. See you around.
I guess all stomping around in this room. Wait, this is where I came in. Yeah. Okay. Must be this door. Yeah, it seems like... Seems like a Doom movie shouldn't be that hard to make. What do they want me to do? Return to the elevator. Okay. They do want me to go back. It's like Quake 1 and 2 more than 4. I like the old school. I think I do too. But Quake 4 is still a really fun ride. It's just so big and dumb. Can't help but like it. Gosh, now I need to find that. Okay, it's back over here. I still think the Doom movie wasn't bad. I don't think it was bad either. I don't think it's possible for Doom as a video game experience to become a movie, which is good. That means that Doom is like really well suited to its medium.
I'm beginning to see how you made it off that space station.
Wait a minute. This is the Corporal Kane? Thought he'd be a lot bigger.
Rhodes, if you're done with the Viper Squad, send them on down to my position.
They're on their way, Morris. Road's out. You heard, Morris. Get going.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Try and keep the Strog off me. These charges I'm carrying don't react well to getting hit by weapons fire. And just so you know, these puppies go off. They're gonna take out you, me, and half this mountain.
Oh, Hugo Martin has said multiple times that if they have a story to tell, why not just put it in a Doom game? Oh, if they have like a movie they want to make? Yeah, that makes sense. I guess you could tell more stories if you worked on other forms of media simultaneously, but like, how many stories do you need to tell about a dude killing a bunch of demons? At what point are you just like trying to mine value out of the brand versus making something that's cool and has like a purpose? Oh, it's whenever asked about Doom adaptations? I see. Where am I taking you? The hangars. Are you a hanger? No. There we go.
I'm gonna paint the floor.
The door was right there. See? These are the problems. You let players walk around in hallways and they're gonna get lost.
Long fold and tangled.
Dragon Ball Evolution is still one of my favorite like bad movie watches. It's just a good time. I like when he slides on the car on his head. There's that YouTube edit of him sliding back and forth on the car. That's our Monkey King. There's so many other and better bad movies. That's true. All of that is true. For me, the best bad movie watch is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yeah. That's another one where it's just like, I love it when people that are out of touch with a cultural thing try to make something in that cultural thing and they just try to like follow the rules or try to mathematically extrapolate how to make it. I need to look at different AI upresing models, I think. While I am proud of my 120 hertz Mortal Kombat Annihilation experiment, I still think that with a better adaptive algorithm, it could become a more ridiculous experience. I don't know. I feel like there's still potential there that was unenjoyed. Where the heck is this guy? Where? What? The video games really need to be made into movies like ever.
That's number 2. Come on, Kane. Let's go somewhere safe, then we can fire these charges off.
I think the strongest games make for the weakest movies by virtue of their mediums. The most similar thing in a game to a movie is a cutscene. And if a game is cutscene heavy, then there's enough material there to adapt into a movie. But for the games that truly embrace their medium, which is to say they're like emergent experiences that are fundamentally interactive, like Metroid, Legend of Zelda, Tetris, Minecraft, Pac-Man. You can make a movie about the concept of the game, but the experience of playing it doesn't really adapt into a film because they're different mediums. The interactivity makes it tough. You can like adapt a pen and paper RPG into a film, and I'm sure that's happened a couple times. Not quite the same as playing it though. Look up Dragon Ball The Magic Begins. It's an unofficial DBZ movie. It was released on DVD. First playing Master Roshi is amazing, and the movie itself is batshit crazy. Cool. I like batshit crazy. I'm gonna grab some water though. Be right back. See you guys soon. Alright folks, we're back fighting the Strogg menace. Although I'm gonna be real, I'm kind of feeling Death Stranding right now. So we'll see. I might help Rhodes accomplish his mission here. And then we might give it a little flipsy. Mostly because I want chat to tell me what's going on with this cutscene. I want to get everyone's interpretation.
Watch over there, Kane. HQ, charges are
Pipes up quick 4, already bored of it. Yeah, I was thinking about this when I was refilling my beverage.
Those hangars are permanently closed for business.
Hey, Rose, if you kids are done playing around, why don't you send Kane down my way? Boss wants us back at the air defense cannon on the double.
Good. I've been looking forward to blowing that up.
Sorry, big boy. Voss wants you to stay put. Another team may need your services. Morris out.
Damn it. Alright. Kane, go hook up with Morris. I'm gonna hang here. See you later.
I still appreciate the theatrics of this game. If it had like a nu metal soundtrack, it'd be perfect. It's got Peter Stormare, but not yet. You have to wait a while. Back on the knots, they were wanting to play Death Stranding too. See? Everyone was just waiting for Death Stranding. It's just quite generic. Yeah. It's hyper generic. It's like HD video game. That's what I like about it, is how generic it is. It's the reminder that like chasing an aesthetic
That primary console in the southern hangar, and I want
is not always the right idea.
Download the launch software from that console and back. Corporal Kane, right? Good job clearing out the hangars. Gonna learn a lot about the Strogg from this facility. This is the first time we've been in a Strogg hangar. Studying just one of the consoles is gonna keep us busy for months.
Yeah, exactly, Captain. It looks like the fake hyper-violent video game in a TV series where there has to be a shot of a video game because some kid is just like...
Corporal, I refuse to repair this power transfer until I'm assigned additional protection.
We've been over this. It's not gonna
But
happen.
I am in mortal danger. This area is filled with Strogg.
Thank you, Private Strauss. Your grievance is noted.
Hello, Corporal Kane. It's good to
Kane,
finally
this is
meet
Morris.
you.
I'm not getting any younger.
I am Private John Strauss. You have no doubt heard of me. That is all I can do. Go now. I am far too valuable to be left defenseless. There should be a dozen soldiers guarding me. How can they do this to me? To me, Johann Strauss. The war effort cannot afford to have me die. I am one of 8 humans fluent in Strog. I'm one of 4 who understand Strog programming. And yet our leaders continue to risk my life on a daily basis?
Love it. All right, it was worth it for Strauss. All right, let's play Death Stranding though. I'm just feeling Death Stranding right now. I don't know what it is. I never thought I'd turn my back on Quake 4, but here I am doing it. All right, let's see here. You know what it is? You know what it is? This is what it is. Death Stranding ranked higher on the PC Gamer's top 100 games of all time, so